Hello, my name's Rachel and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you my no spend year rules for 2022. So as you all know, I have just completed my first no spend year. I will leave a link up above for the video that shows how I got on with that. So using that information and thinking about what it is I want to achieve for the next year, I have set myself some new goals that I wanted to share with you today. So I set myself quite a few rules last year. Some of them included like having a limit on spend, not buying certain items, and there are a few things in there that I suggested that I would do that I have found trickier to do or didn't quite work. So I wanted to share those with you first to show you kind of why I didn't get on with those rules and then how I'm going to change things for the future. So one of my rules for last year was to try a laundry egg. These are the kind of eco eggs that are being advertised all the time. They're kind of like little eggs that you kind of unscrew and then inside you have got, just trying to get you wrong because it's much easier to show you what it is that I'm talking about than trying to describe it, but I have one downstairs still. I don't know why I still got them actually. They can be decluttered. So basically with the laundry egg, you kind of unscrew it and inside you have got lots of pellets and those pellets are supposed to help wash your clothes. So basically my plan was to use this to cut my detergent costs so that I wasn't spending as much on detergent. So I invested in this. I invested in enough product that was supposed to last me a couple of years and I did it for 6 solid months, so I feel like I did give this a fair try, but I didn't like it. So after 6 months, I found that my clothes weren't really washing that well. They were not feeling that great and they just were smelling quite foul. And I even switched up the pellets more than they recommended. So it says about 70 washes. I probably switched up after 40 or 50 because it wasn't doing the job, and I just found that the clothes were just not feeling very nice. I've got quite sensitive skin, so for me the feel of the clothes is quite important. So for me they were feeling quite dull and they weren't feeling very clean. So after 6 months of kind of wearing my clothes to the point where they just didn't feel right, I gave in and I just used my normal detergent, and the difference was just really noticeable, and it just made me wonder why these weren't very good. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me, that I'm just not using them right, or if I'm a hard water area or something like that, but I just couldn't get on with them. So I did try it and it just wasn't successful, so these I will declutter. One of my other kind of aims for last year, one of my rules, was that I would be more thoughtful about gifts and I would hand make some gifts. So I think I started off this last Christmas because I made lots of handmade gifts last Christmas and that worked fine, but when it came to doing birthday gifts throughout the year, as you know from my video, I spent quite a few £100s on gifts, and that wasn't including gifts for my son for his birthday or for Christmas. That was just kind of birthday gifts. I don't really know why it's so high because I didn't think I bought for that many people, so that is something that I definitely need to try and work on for this next year. So let's have a look at my rules for this coming year, for 2022. So firstly, I want to set myself a spend amount, and that's going to include an amount that's going to be for activity for me and my son to do, so hopefully that we can get out a bit more and kind of do some more interesting things. As per last year, I'm only allowed to buy makeup if it runs out. I have already got some backup stuff kind of ready, so hopefully I won't need to buy very much at all really in the coming year, so that should keep really low. So I was quite low last year, so hopefully that will continue. So my next goal is to meal plan. I need to make sure that I'm planning each meal throughout the week. It doesn't have to be in an exact order, but it just needs to be roughly the meals that I'm going to be eating so that I can buy the right things in the supermarket. This definitely saves money and it helps me to keep on top of what I have in stock. A link to this obviously is batch cooking meals. I did a little bit of this, but I think I want to proactively do this on a weekly or monthly basis where I batch cook some meals and then have them available for whenever I want them. Another goal is to keep going with my decluttering of my home, so I'll keep sharing videos of how I get on with that, and obviously I'm still doing my Christmas decluttering challenges, so hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit more of that over the coming weeks. I'm going to continue to use up cleaning products. Definitely did make some progress on this, so I still have lots of products still to use, so I'm going to keep going with that. Clearly I don't clean enough, so I need to keep going and clean more, which has definitely been easier in the last few months, seeing as I had less stuff to deal with, so I'm much more inclined to clean because the surfaces are clear. So any gift cards that I receive, I will allow myself to use them on various things that I would like, just so that I can have a treat. I will reduce how often I get my hair cut, so at the minute it's twice a year, so I'm going to stick to that. It's probably during the next couple of months, and then I'll get it done again in summer, so I don't get it cut or coloured that often, but I'm going to reduce that to keep my costs down. I'm going to continue to hang my washing and not use a tumble dryer. That one I was quite successful at last year. I don't think I really use a tumble dryer at all, probably one rare occasion. So I'm quite happy that I've done well on that one for the last year, so I will keep doing what I'm doing to keep that one going. And as I mentioned about gifts, I'm going to try and be a bit more resourceful and only buy for the people that I really need to buy for. It's quite easy to feel guilty about not buying gifts for some people, but if they're not people that you are regularly seeing or in that much contact with, you don't need to feel guilty for it. I always feel guilty that I don't buy people gifts. I'm going to keep to my spend amounts. I already mentioned spend amount, but this time this is general spend, and in that I can only go out for a meal once a month. So I think there were definitely months where I spent a lot of money on meals and drinks out, so I'm going to try and keep that to once a month only, just to keep those costs down so I can spread them out over the year if possible. I'm going to continue to plan my lunches for work and for my son for school, so that I'm on top of everything and make sure that I have appropriate things in the cupboards for that and plan those in advance. I'm going to continue to only go shopping once a week, so that I'm not doing little additional trips to the shop, which can be easy to do sometimes, just popping in somewhere and then spending a £10 when actually you only need to go in for one thing. So try and make sure that my list is really comprehensive so that I know exactly what it is that I need to get, so I'm not missing anything either. I'm also going to have a look at seeing if there's any subscription packages that I can reduce. I've just had a look at my TV package and I've managed to reduce it down by a couple of pounds. So that means maybe taking away some channels, but actually I don't watch that much TV, so it's not really essential for me. Another key one that I've added this year is that I'm going to pay for as many things as possible in advance. This goes for car insurance, maybe TV license, any other kind of insurances or contracts. It's definitely worth paying them in advance rather than signing up for monthly payments. Things I'm not allowed to buy are books, home goods or craft supplies. And my last thing that I want to include for my no spend year rules is to actually think about how I spend my time. So maybe thinking about activities that I can do that's giving my time to people rather than worrying about financial kind of impacts on things. So just about giving my time a bit more wisely to the people that matter. And with that comes being a bit more resourceful about my activities for like the weekends and evenings. So hopefully all of these rules should be enough to keep me on track for the next year. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe below if you want to see more videos on my no spend year, minimalism and decluttering. And I shall see you soon. Take care. Bye.